A couple years down the road, you hear the squeak of your brakes as you pull nose first into a parking spot. Get out of your car. Everything around you is kind of like red. It has like a red, excuse me, there's like a red haze around you, right? Because you are being bathed in the light of a Wendy's sign.
Red and yellow.
You kind of look up, you like turn around, you know, you look up at Wendy as she's smiling down upon you, and you just think, man, there's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Oof.
You walk across the parking lot, feel the familiar door handle in your fingers. You know how like sometimes they'll show like where things just get worn down with regular use over time.
Sure.
You don't know this, but the back side of that door handle, your fingers are in the exact same spot every time. And like the polished brass element of it is like worn away.
Oh, wow.
Exactly where your fingertips are
Same spot every single time.
every single time. You walk in through the first like the foyer door, you know. Every time you walk into this Wendy's, you feel like an astronaut, like walking into like a pressurized chamber, and you have to like let the door close before you'll step into the Wendy's itself. So you do that. You stand there for a moment. A second of anticipation that you always look forward to every time you go there. You let the outside door close behind you, and only then do you push in on the inner door. Swings open to a parquet floor, tiled lobby.
I am picturing such a specific Wendy's right now.
Got fake plants and these planters that kind of like run along like a divider that separates the ordering area from the dining room. It's eerily quiet tonight in this Wendy's. Normally, you're greeted with a joyous eruption of your first name anytime you walk in, a la Norman Cheers.
Oh no. I
When
kind
you
of love
come
that, but that's not good to hear.
when you come in, people like your like cadence of like walking in is so noticeable that they know that when there's like a couple second beat between the first door opening and the second door, people just yell Pat, you know.
I go there that often.
Oh yeah. You
Oof.
you won employee of the month in July of last year. That's how often you're there. You don't work there, by the way.
What? I am
Yeah.
employee of the month?
Yeah, you won
Oh
employee of the month.
no.
Yeah. All the other pictures on the wall are like a very tight like headshot of like the person with like their little Wendy's hat on, you know,
Yeah.
and yours is just like it's like your comedy headshot.
Oh
Cool.
God. Ugh.
So yeah, you won employee of the month there last July. You know, you're there quite a bit, right? You're there an awful lot. You know like the people who work the evening and night shifts, like you know them all pretty much, right? People the manager, his name is Craig, Craig Shuttle. He like when they bring a new hire in, after like their first 90 days, it's like a probationary period, you know, you're not supposed to like miss anything or you know, it's just to see if they want to keep you around or not. After that first 90 days, Craig will text you and he'll be like, "Hey, meet me in the lobby, 8 p.m." or whatever, you know, whatever the time is. And so you go and you'll like walk in, You'll see him sitting at like a back table with his hands pressed together, like he's like a praying thing, and his fingers pressed against his lips, just brow furrowed, deep in thought. And on the 90th day of every new employee, he sits down with you and he calls it the Pat's progress report. And he wants to know like what your opinion is about them, of whether or not they should stick around. And you have some influence there.
Really?
I'm not going to lie, you have a lot of influence there. There have been times when like there was this one guy, his name was Sean Covington. And Sean, like, it was Sean's first job, and he clearly did not want to be there at first. It's the
Okay.
first job, right? It's fast food. It sucks.
Sure.
He did not want to be there. But over the course of 90 days, he made friends, and he developed a little bit of work ethic and a sense of pride. And those are all things that you picked up on within the last couple of weeks. And Craig was like, well, I think Sean's got to go. And you're like, hey, 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 hang on. You're like, let's pump the brakes, Craig. And you really went to bat for him.
Yeah, Craig.
So Sean was able to keep his job. He stayed on. He worked the rest of the school year, and then he went away to Harvard and became a biomedical engineer. And he cures erectile dysfunction forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And good thing for Craig too, because he has it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Craig has ED.
Is that publicly known?
Not publicly, but just from the amount of time you spent with him, like in a professional sense. It's just come up a couple times. No pun intended.
Ugh.
So, yeah, you're there a lot, is what I'm getting at. You
Okay.
know, you're there a lot. You you have a trophy on your mantle. It's a golden frosty. It's the customer of the year for Wendy's. And basically you spent more money at Wendy's this last year than anybody else in the entire nation. Right? You personally pump more money into the estate of Dave Thomas than anybody in the entire United States of America.
What?
Yeah, so they send you they send you a box. It's got a little golden frosty in it, and there's a letter that says, "Thanks for being our best customer." You had it framed,
Oh, I
hung
don't
up
know
on
how
your
I'd
it's hung
feel
up on your
about
wall.
that.
It's hung up on your wall just above a picture of your niece and nephew.
So real
So
quick,
yeah,
what you're saying is I spend the most money there. I'm like the best out of anyone.
any yeah, and the entire country, you personally spent more money at Wendy's franchises than anybody in the United States.
That's gotta be so much.
Oh, it's a lot.
Oh man, that's not good.
No, but it's also it look, it is what it is. Okay.
Sure, all right, whatever.
Let's just say that golden frosty is a trophy well earned. So
Yeah.
so this night, like many other lonely weeknights, you saunter into that Wendy's. Except like I said, you find it a little empty. You're not greeted with your normal greeting. Uh, you're expecting to see Ricky and Veronica there tonight. That's who's on shift. And your first thought when you don't hear them yell your name, you're like, oh man, I hope they're okay. Like your first thought goes to their well-being.
I know
That's
their
how like,
schedules.
yeah, that's how often you're in there. And it's not because anybody showed
Uh,
you. It's just like you just picked up on it over time
oh man. All right.
through like unconscious observation. You're aware of who's working that night. Veronica's up front, Ricky's in the back on the grill. So you're a little concerned right out of the gate. And you think maybe they didn't hear me come in, maybe they didn't hear it, but they always hear it. You kind of step out from behind the wall that makes the hallway that leads to the bathroom. You kind of pass that, and you're standing at the counter. You peek your head over and look towards the drive-through window by the drink station. There's nobody there. You kind of like look around the corner, around the wall that leads into the kitchen, expecting to see Ricky's smiling face, looking up over a fucking refrigerated prep table. Nothing. You think, huh, that's weird. You
Yeah.
kind of call out. You're like, Ricky, Veronica, hello. You hear like you hear a noise coming from in like the kitchen area, a muffled something or other. You can't quite make it out.
Oh man.
You go, I'm coming back. You're wearing shoes for cruise already, so you know you're not gonna have to worry about slickness.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I've
you're already
got
wearing
my
shoes for
shit.
cruise. Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So you walk back into the kitchen and sitting on the floor are Ricky and Veronica, gags in their mouths. They're tied up, tied together at the waist, hands and feet bound.
Oh man.
You're like, what the fuck? You go over, you pull the rag out of Ricky's mouth and then Veronica's, and you're like, guys, what's going on? And then they're like, somebody's here. They're robbing the store. And you look for a moment, and Ricky turns ghost white. You see him start to form your name on his lips, and before he can get it out, you are just clubbed in the back of the head.
Uh,
You fall to the ground. You look up. There's a man standing over you. He's wearing black jeans. He's got on a black leather jacket. He's wearing a white t-shirt underneath. It says "fuck you."
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh no. No.
He's got like bleach blonde, spiked up hair, and he goes, "You picked the wrong day to come here, motherfucker." And he just whacks you
Whoa.
again, right? You hear Ricky and Veronica cry out, and something about hearing that lights a fire inside of you. And you stand up, you get up on your knees. He whacks you on the back again with it. It almost feels good. You kind of like
Adrenaline's flowing.
adrenaline's flowing. You like stand up, you know, you're kind of like chest is puffed out.
Hell
This
yes.
guy, this guy's like
Finally.
looking you in the face
Always wanted to do this.
with your free hand. You reach over into like the steam table and you're like looking him in the eyes and you know he isn't seeing you and you grab like a scorching hot beef patty from the prep table and you just like smack him in the face with it. What came out of the charbroiler like 2 minutes ago, you know?
Ugh.
And he just screams in pain as you mash this piping hot beef patty. This piping hot, all natural, never frozen beef patty that you've enjoyed so many times before, smashing it into this guy's face. He screams a primal scream, and then he like wipes the burger from his face. He yells loudly and then just whacks you on the head with a club or a pipe, what some sort of blunt object. You pass out.
Oh man.
You you wake up, throbbing headache, eyes sensitive to light. You feel a loose fitting gown on your body. You blink a couple times and you're waking up in a hospital.
Oh man.
The
All
nurse,
right.
the nurse sees you, right? The nurse on duty, and she like sticks her head out in the hallway. And she goes, "He's up." Doctors rush in, right? They're opening up your eyes. They're checking your pupils. You haven't even had a chance to like take stock of your body yet, right? And so it's like this very immediate feeling of being overwhelmed. You know, your heart rate goes up, your breathing gets faster, you know. They the doctor's like trying to talk to you, like, hey Pat, everything's okay. Everything's okay, just breathe, you know. They're like, well, like some things happened, you know. So you kind of like sit there for a minute and you're just like sweating, right? You're just like very nervous, like what the fuck? You're unsure of what's happening. You kind of like
Yeah.
can take a moment, take in a breath, and like assess what's happening. Like just you're rebooting, you know? You go to wipe the sweat from your brow with your left hand, and your left hand feels incredibly heavy. And you go, huh? And you look
Huh?
down, and at the end of your elbow is a grease trap.
What?
Yeah. So what happened was they were at the end of the night at the Wendy's and that guy knocked you out and your hand went into like a grease trap and it was so hot, the oil, that it fused your hand into the machine.
Oh no.
And now at the end of your arm from the elbow down is like a grease trap. You know, it's like a metal box filled with grease. There's a hose on the end, right?
I'm a
A
cyborg.
little a little valve.
A fast food cyborg.
So you're like, what the fuck? And at that moment, the doctor enters the room and he has like the presence of like a Freddie Mercury, you know? He has just this like incredible gravitas around him.
Yeah.
You look up, his hair's glammed the fuck out, right? It's Jack the Jesus. It's big. It looks flammable. And then you look a little closer at his face, and he's like in total like full on glam makeup, right? He's got big like magenta fucking eyeshadow. He's got jewels, little rhinestones all over his face. He looks like he's ready to rock out in front of a crowd of 100,000 strong.
Oh man. Okay.
And he when he talks, he talks in like talk downs, like a breathy talk down. He goes, "Hey Pat, it's me, Dr. Jeff Leopard." Dr. Jeff Leopard is the finest one-armed surgeon anywhere in the world. Okay. He is recognized as such. There is not a
Okay.
better one-armed surgeon on planet Earth than Dr. Jeff Leopard.
It's not even close.
It's not even fucking close. The other guy lives in Uruguay. You know, I mean, it says, you know, right? Who you
Okay.
gonna trust? You know,
Right. Jeff Leopard.
Dr. Jeff Leopard or a surgeon from Uruguay.
Right.
It's pretty obvious, right? I mean, they have a
Sure.
vote still, you know, but either way, it was pretty unanimous. It was almost unanimous. So Dr. Jeff Leopard, he stands his scrubs fit like tight too. His scrubs are very form fitting. You can see every muscle. You see his pecs popping out. You see just a huge bulge. He stands at the end of your bed and he goes, Matt, I think there was an accident. And you're like, yeah. And he goes, take it from me, baby. As a man without normal use of one of his arms, your life is gonna be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, do you know what I mean, Pat? And
I guess.
you're like,
I don't
yeah,
know,
I guess
man.
so. So
This is
basically,
a lot to deal with right now.
Dr. Jeff Leopard tells you that your arm fused to the grease trap. And to save your life, they had to just kind of leave it there. He says, look, he says, I'm the finest one-armed surgeon in all of the United States. And I'm telling you, if we would have removed that thing, it would have caused massive blood loss. Your body wasn't in a state to repair itself correctly, being blasted unconscious. So we had to leave it there. But he goes, he kind of like you see him like look towards the open window. He takes a couple steps towards it. He like posts his arm up on the glass and like leans against it. He turns back very dramatically to look at you and he goes, I got a feeling, Pat. A feeling deep down in my bones, Pat.
Ugh,
He says, you're gonna be just fine, Pat. I promise.
wow.
And then he just walks out of the room, right? His fucking doctor's coat just waving behind him. You you go home. You walk inside, you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
And I don't know how to describe this. You have this like feeling that you have to take a piss, but it's not coming from your bowel, your bladder.
Yeah?
It's coming from your arm.
Oh God, what do you mean?
I mean, you look down at that grease trap and it feels like it is full. You see the valve right there where the hose meets the box, shining in the sun. You take a step outside, you go to like a grassy area. You twist that fucking valve, and this hose is like 18 inches long. It's 18 inches long. It's about like as thick around as like a fucking cardboard roll, like a paper towel roll or something. But it's made out of mesh and it's flexible and you can move it. And you turn this valve, and this thing just starts like flying all over the place. It's spitting oil everywhere, right? You finally grab a hold of it right at the tip, and you hold it in place as you drain that fucking grease trap, and it feels so good to do. Just like a big old piss. You go inside, you sit down, you turn on the TV, the news is on. They're like, in restaurant news, another Wendy's was held up last night down near campus. And they show like footage of like a Wendy's, crime tape all around it, right? They say this is the sixth Wendy's in the greater Austin area that's been terrorized by the fast food bandit.
Oh man.
And they go, we can only hope this reign of terror stops soon. So basically, this guy's been like robbing Wendy's blind. At the end of the night, he'll go in, he'll like place his MO. He goes in, he places an order for a Baconator combo, no mayonnaise. He gets a
Solid
Diet Coke.
order.
Yeah, he gets a Diet Coke, gets some ketchup packets. And then once he makes small talk with the kid behind the counter. He gets his food and then he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, can I get change for a 20?" And they pop the drawer and then he pulls a gun out from his coat, you know. And then he makes them pop all the drawers. They're popping everything. The safe, they pop that. They're giving him the deposit from the night before. Like he's making out like a bandit. Plus, he's taking all that cash. He's eating a lot of baconators. Probably not good for him long term, I would imagine.
Oh, so he does get the food?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. He waits until getting the food before he's like, "Oh, by the way, I need change for a 20." He absolutely waits for it. He Number one, he paid for it, by God. He's gonna get it, you know. Number two, they're gonna make it. It's gonna go to waste otherwise.
So just Wendy's though.
Yeah, just Wendy's.
Huh.
So and this like pisses you off, right? Like not
Yeah, I'm
only not
pissed.
only not only because like you're a
Fuck
big
this
fan of
guy.
Wendy's, but this guy like assaulted you and got away.
Hmm.
So you go to Wendy's.com, you print out a map of all the Wendy's in the area. You cross-reference all the locations that have been robbed, and you look at what's left. By process of elimination, you know that he's going to like this one specific Wendy's, and he's doing it on their slowest nights. And you just happen to know, the slowest night of every Wendy's in the Austin area just through, again, observation and conversations with Craig about finances. So this one is out in like far west, right? You think to yourself, saving the best for last. It's like the nicest Wendy's in Texas, right?
Really?
Yeah. They take Apple Pay, just immaculate bathrooms. They won bathroom of the year in 2013, 2015, and 2022 from Southwest Bathrooms Monthly. So, it's a very nice bathroom. This is
I'd
the
love
women's
to read
division.
that
The men's
magazine.
division,
The women's division.
there's a vice on that one. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
So yeah,
So
it's like a nice Wendy's, right?
they're probably gonna hit that one last.
Yeah, but it's like the last one on the list. It's the only one in the area that they haven't gotten.
We got a call.
And you happen to know that, well, this is personal for you. This isn't just Wendy's business. You look down at that grease trap on your arm and you think about how this guy wronged you and you're going to go do something about it. So you go to that
Wait, so
Wendy's
I
out in
still
far
have to
west.
work?
Huh?
I still have to work even
Oh, with
after
this
having
thing.
this
Yeah.
thing fused to
Well,
me?
I mean, like, it's not out of the question. You're
Oh
like working,
no.
you're like booking the
Uh
Velveeta room still, but like you're definitely applying for disability because you don't have use of one of your arms other than like in a grease trap scenario. And that's not a job for hire.
no. It'll probably hurt too.
Oh, it absolutely would. It'd be a nightmare. And the metal would get hot. It would stay hot for hours. Yeah, you have the chutes for crews to like safely navigate the kitchens. Like that's another problem. But hot
Right.
oil is going to hurt on your skin, on your delicate skin. But you throw all that aside, right?
Okay.
Unemployment be damned. You drive to this Wendy's out in Far West. You sit in the parking lot, turn your lights off. Sun goes down. That part of town kind of slows to a crawl. The lights on the outside signage light up, and you wait. You see like you see a black van pull into the parking lot. Black windows, it's like all tinted. Like the wheel cover on the back door just says "fuck you" on it.
Oh no.
The license plate reads "fuck you." It's just like this guy is not a good dude. You see the van pull right up to the door. Lights turn off. The guy gets out, and you recognize this bleached blonde head of hair anywhere. You see him go
This
inside.
this motherfucker.
You see him kind of standing there, rubbing his chin, looking at the menu like he hasn't done this so many times before. You look at his face and you mouth it out with him. He says, "Baconator, Diet Coke." In your car, you mouth it at the same time. You see the young guy behind the counter. His name is uh David. You see him like take the order. He turns around, he says something into the kitchen, and you're like, "Oh, not David, right?" David's like a really nice, kind guy. He plays a clarinet in the school band.
Oh,
You always got along with David. You're not close to him or anything, but like
it shouldn't be David.
you definitely get along with him. You consider him. No, it shouldn't. Of all people, it shouldn't be David. If it were like Calvin, okay. Calvin is if he died, nobody would really miss him.
I'd
But
be okay
David
with his
is,
death.
David's got a. I mean, yeah, you're like you sit there and you make a quick list of like if I had to choose the people in this Wendy's that would die in order, Calvin's clearly like number one, and it's not even close. You would struggle with any other decision, but Calvin is like definitely the one that you could see parting and it not really impacting your attendance at Wendy's. So you see the bleach blonde hair, you see him kind of standing there leaning up against this wall, just kind of you can tell he's eyeballing the place, scoping it out. You see you kind of look, he's got a metal pipe sticking out of his black jeans back pocket. And you're like, that's what it was. That's what he hit me with.
Oh, yeah.
So you get out of your car, you walk through the parking lot, you're standing there at the outside door of the Wendy's. You feel a fullness in your grease trap. The hose hangs loose at your side. What do you do?
Hmm. So the grease that I have on me, it's really hot, you're saying?
Well, you can get it hot.
And this guy is up to no good.
Yeah, I mean it's the guy that assaulted you.
Okay. I heat up that oil and then I yell, "Hey!" And then when he turns around, I throw it at him.
Well, you don't throw it because it's like there's a valve and it sprays out like piss. Remember?
Well, yeah, I spread. That's what I mean. Sorry.
So you walk into the foyer, you open that outside door, you stand there for a moment, you let it close behind you. You take in the silence of the space as you've done thousands of times before. You walk in through the main door and you hear Pat, the bleach blonde guy kind of he goes, huh? And he looks up at you and what do you say to him?
I'm just like, I don't think I say anything. I think I just spray him with hot oil.
So you see him look up at you and you lock eyes with him. He's got these baby blues. You stare deeply into him. And for just a moment, you're connected to him in a way that you've never been connected to anybody else.
Wow.
Total complete focus. For just a second, you two are the only one in the space. His pupils dilate. You raise that hose, holding the tip of it in your right hand. You feel the heat of the steel as it warms on your arm, and you know that oil is fired up. He looks at you and he like he like reaches for his back, for that pipe, and you just unload, right? You spray like a whole arm's worth of hot oil all over
Yeah.
this guy's face, right? He uh he just like screams in agony, right? His face like almost melting off. It's just not
Oh,
it's
geez.
this is like oil that is, almost 400 degrees,
Oh,
right?
fuck.
He's
Yeah.
immediately
Okay.
showing the effects of it. He just
Oh,
gets
no.
down. You hear the clang of the metal rod on that tile floor. You just unload this entire thing. It feels so good, like taking just a big fat piss, right? It feels so good when it
uh,
comes out. And you kind of stand there just like hyperventilating. David comes out from the back and he goes, holy shit, Pat, what happened? You hear the sirens of police coming, right? You see the blue and red lights as they like just haul ass into the parking lot. Like three cops pull up there, and you look out like through the windows, and they're like, "Get on the ground, get on the ground."
yeah, man, didn't really think this through.
They start making their way. They start making their way like into the Wendy's, and there's like a detective with them, and he sees the bad guy on the ground. He goes, "Fuck, fuck!" He starts screaming. He just starts stomping. He goes, "We were on this guy for weeks." He goes, "I was right here. I had him." and he looks at you with anger in his eyes, and he goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
Ooh.
And you say, "I'm Pat," right?
I
And he
tell him,
says, "Yeah." He says, "Do you know how much you just fucked me?" He goes, "I was gonna make captain for this."
all right.
He steps on your hose, and just like fire just like shoots up your arm. It hurts so bad.
Oh, hey, come on, man.
You yank it back, and when you do, it like it wraps around his ankle, and it like trips him, and he falls to the floor, and the cops just shoot you to death right there on the floor of the
Oh,
Wendy's.
no, it's an accident.
Yeah, they don't care.
No.
You pulled their detective down onto the
Oh,
floor with
no.
your hose arm, and they just
Yeah.
unloaded into you. They shoot you 88 times,
Ah,
and
that's so many.
while the oil and your blood just like flows into the drain, they all just stand in line and they order dinner and they wait for the paramedics to go. You die right there at the Wendy's.
What kind of life was I gonna have anyway, I guess?
You were about to win your second Golden Frosty in a row.
Who gives a shit?
I don't. I mean, you would have liked it. It would have looked good up there with the second one.
Sure. Two-time Golden Frosty winner, Pat Dean.
That's how the news when they report on this, they go two-time Golden Frosty winner Pat Dean gets
That's
revenge on
how
the
I'm
fast food
remembered.
bandit. Yeah.
That's how I'm remembered.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
you're when you're buried, your headstone, the topper on it is just like a big frosty. Wendy's pays for your headstone. Your parents
That's
are like,
cool.
no, 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 you don't have to. But Wendy's is like, no, we insist. And it's the exact same color of that chocolatey milkshake that you so loved. Just a brown headstone.
Well, that's pretty cool, I guess. I guess that part's cool, but the rest of it, Jesus, Aaron.
Yeah.